and welcome to another video. Today we're going to go ahead and review a fragrance that was released last year. In July of 2015, we're talking about Calvin Klein's Eternity Now. Now, Calvin Klein's Eternity Now, again, released last year, 2015. I've come to like reviewing Calvin Klein fragrances just because I never know what I'm going to get. I don't know if it's going to be something that's positive, or I don't know if it's going to be something that, I use as a room freshener or anything like that. But it's always fun to review Calvin Klein fragrances, and Eternity Now is no exception. I saw this one, decided, okay, I'll pick this one up and go ahead and review it. Now, the fragrance is available in two main sizes. It's actually available in three main sizes, but I'm going to cover two. The 1.7 is going to run you about $60 retail, and the 3.4 is going to run you about $75 retail. So not much of a difference of a price, and if you're looking for more bang for your buck, you might as well go with 3.4 at those retail prices. But that's pretty much it, all right? So let's go ahead and get right into the notes of this fragrance. The notes of this fragrance consist of, at our top, we've got ginger, coconut, and star anise. For our mid, we have starfruit, cedar, and patchouli. And for our base, we have cedar, tonka bean, and vanilla. So, seeing the notes, I was pretty intrigued as to what I would possibly be getting when I smelled this scent. And when I smelled it, I was surprised, but it immediately reminded me of a fragrance that I've smelled quite a few times, and many of you have probably smelled quite a few times as well too, and that is 1 Million. This reminded me, think of 1 Million without the bubblegum note that people get, that bubblegum citrusy note, and imagine it with more of a coconut, licorice note. Just replace those two, and that's essentially what I'm getting from this scent. It's heavily reminiscent of 1 Million to me. At least when you first spray it, it becomes heavily reminiscent of 1 Million. You really get that coconut and that star anise that comes off the top. And as you begin to get towards the middle, you start to get a little bit more, patchouli coming in, a little bit more cedar. And at the same time, I gotta say the tonka bean and the vanilla start bringing it up more with a little bit of sweetness. Overall, this is a very sweet scent. Like almost most of those notes that are in there, and most of the scent is actually just sweetness that are coming in from the scent. So this is one of those fragrances that you really have to be careful that you don't over apply, because not only you're going to choke other people out, but it may make you sick. When I test fragrances, I generally test them with normal sprays, what I consider normal sprays, and then I go heavy and then I go light, see how it does in each of those. And when I went heavy, this one made me sick to my stomach. So and that was heavy, or was 5+ sprays basically, and I was just sick to my stomach. Now, the other thing that this fragrance really reminds me of, I grew up in Korea, for those of you who don't know, and there was this popular drink called milkis, right? You can search it up, look it up online. It's exactly how it's spelled, milkis. And this reminds me of that, like a fragrance version of milkis. It's still got this milky vibe coming in from the coconut, and the way that the coconut is, it's like this milky, citrusy. It's like this weird citrusy vibe that you really don't get a specific citrus fragrance, or a specific citrus note. You really don't get that specific citrus note, but it's more like a conglomeration, a blend of citrus notes. And it really kind of does have this milky-esque vibe that, when sprayed too hard, again, makes me a little bit sick to my stomach, along with the sweetness and that milky-esque vibe. All right? So if I'm going to go ahead and describe this fragrance, I'm going to describe it as a fruity gourmand, a fruity sweet gourmand. That's essentially what you're getting with this one. Now, I think about 3 sprays is good for this one. A little bit more is a little bit pushing it to me, but as always, experiment if you want. I think this is a perfect fragrance for the younger crowd. This is a perfect fragrance that you can wear out to a club, you can wear out going out on the night, you can wear out casually. This is one of those scents that really can double as almost a signature scent if you play your cards right. I really wouldn't wear it to work, so that's the only reason why it may not be signature scent worthy, but give it a try, give it a whirl, see how it actually does. Now, this is also a fragrance that will work well for any time of the year that you decide to go ahead and put this one on. It's very versatile, it works well in the cold, and it works well in the heat as well. Just be careful on the sprays if you're going to go ahead and use it with the heat. Alright? Now, as far as performance goes, now this is where it becomes a little bit of an asterisk with this scent. Now, Calvin Klein fragrances are known to have let's just face it, shitty performance. They don't have good performance overall. There's a couple of their scents that do, but overall they don't, more often than not. This one toes the line. So the first time that I sprayed it, I wore it, I think I got a solid 8+ hours out of the scent. But the next time that I wore it, I got a solid like 4, and it was gone. And then it kind of jumped up the gamut. So I really can't nail down how long this lasts, except maybe like 3 to 8 or 9 hours is how long the scent lasts. And it really bounced around on my skin, and I really couldn't get a hold of how long it was actually lasting. So just keep that in mind. I wore this one like 10 times, so I still couldn't, get my hands on it. I started trying to figure, okay, well, is it something that I'm eating? Is it something like that? No, couldn't really put it down. It just didn't have consistent performance on my skin. Although it did seem to have quite a bit of concentration, so that may be something, of the sort. Now, compliment-wise, unfortunately, this one did not get any compliments from me. I suspect that it might be just because it's too sweet and may not mix with my personality, but that's just success with me, not success with you. So try this one out, see how it fares on your skin. So I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating. I give this fragrance a rating a 6 out of 10. Now, it gets a 6 out of 10 for a number of reasons. One, overall, this is a very positive fragrance. I think that it's a good fragrance. I think that it's a fragrance that is definitely worth trying out and is more on the positive side from the House of Calvin Klein. The negative sides to this fragrance is A, it can be a little bit too sweet. B, it smells a little bit too much like 1 Million for my taste. C, it's the performance on this is kind of all over the place. I'm not sure what to make of it still. And it's just bouncing around for that. But at the end of the day, it still is a unique fragrance. And I did find that it was pretty cool that it reminded me of a scent from my childhood, which was that milkish drink that I was telling you about. But overall, I do think that this is a positive offering that at least is worth it to check out, if anything. And for the price, you may find a steal for this. I suspect that this will probably be marked down pretty soon, though. All right? So if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free. Send me a message, leave me a note. Do whatever you got to do. Thank you. Take care of yourselves and have a great day.